Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to The Truth Carpet with your best friend duo, LoveLoudd LLC. It's your girl Moni, and you know who I got with me, my bestie.
Yaskis, hey y'all. It's been a long time, but we're back.
We are
I'm
back,
so happy to be on camera with you.
right? It's just the vibes, right? The vibes, looking lively, looking bright. You know, 'tis the season. Happy
We be
holiday.
jolly.
I just feel like I don't know. It's been a wild ride. It's been a wild ride. You know, last time we checked in, we were talking about everything that we've been through that put us on a little halt in
Hmm.
the last episode. You know, so life seems to be on the brighter side of things now. So we back, we live, we in y'all ear. You know,
Yes.
my dears. So let's go
Y'all.
ahead and check it on it.
Well, the first things that's on my mind is no, I have not put the skates on. The funny thing is, um, a lot of times when I think about putting my skates on is when I'm in my apartment, and I can't do that because I mean I can, but that's not nice. I have people that live below me. I live in an apartment. So like I just wish I could just roll back and forth in my apartment, but I can't. And then was it this week or last week? I'm sure it was this week. I had the bright plan to skate in my boyfriend's garage because I'm like the pavement is so perfect. It's nice and quiet. Not a lot of cars come down to where I park my car. I was like, yeah, babe, while you go to work, I'm gonna skate downstairs. And he was like, are you sure you ain't gonna have no phone service? Like, and he was like, and you don't got the key. So I'm like, oh, if I fall and bust my butt,
Have
I
mercy.
can't call nobody to say come get me. So that plan that I had in my head didn't work. And of course it's too cold to go outside. So I do want to go skating real bad. Like I said in the last episode that I didn't. I didn't, y'all.
And you
But
know what? That's okay. You got plenty of time to put your feet back on some wheels. Okay.
yes. I don't know what to say. Recently I've just been resting a lot. It's very cold up here in the tri-state area. And I say that because that's what I'm blaming. Like, I'm blaming the cold weather, I'm blaming the daylight savings, and I'm also the walking. I do a lot of walking for work, a lot of commuting and things like that. So by the time I get home, I'm tired. And then I'll be on the train like, yo, it's mad dark outside and it's only 4:30. My brain is like, get ready for bed and everything. And then I look at the clock feeling like it's 8:30. It's only 6 o'clock. Like my brain is so confused. And I'm so happy because yesterday I saw somebody on social media say, just so y'all know, today is Saturday. Like I'm not the only one. I've been going to work. A lot of people are on break right now, but I've been going to work and I still am so confused. Like one of my clients was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought we were supposed to meet yesterday." And I said, "It's okay. I'm confused what day it is too. I have to look at my phone to know what day it is." But that's the best update that I can give. I'm just catching up on sleep, just relaxing. I also saw a post that said um something to the extent of like it's okay to bed rot, especially this time of year, seasonal depression. We have people celebrating their holidays for the first time or for the umpteenth time without that loved one. And it can be awkward. It can be like, what do I do? Like just a lot of um discomfort for some
Mhm.
people. Even if your family hasn't passed, like this is the second holiday that was a little weird for me because last year, remember, I had surgery and my family wasn't there. So I was so grateful for my boyfriend and for Moni for spending the holidays with me. Like if it wasn't for them, I would have been alone in my room. It's not like I couldn't drive or nothing. I couldn't do anything. So I was stuck in my room. I would have been just stuck in my apartment by myself. So shout out to friends. And then this year, um, my some family went away again, but thank God for my mom. I was able to go to my mom's house, and my brother was there, one of my brothers, and she cooks for us and everything. But I'm so used to not so used. Well, I'm used to being around family, like the whole family. We usually start in our separate homes, and then we come together to feast and like show our toys or whatever gadgets we got and things like that. Even as adults, now I'm looking at the kids and seeing what toys they got. But every year I always flash back to my grandma's house. We all grew up in my great grandma's house. And we had a couple Christmas together, like on Home Alone. They had the big tree. They come down. It's the cousins and the siblings and everybody opening up gifts together, and it's so cool. Everybody in their PJs just celebrating together. So I don't know. I think as an adult, Christmas is not the same, but I do look forward to maybe one day I'll have my own children or child, and I'll be giddy and excited to, celebrate with them. But right now, it's just my nephews whenever I'm able to be around them. It's so much fun. So I know that wasn't organized, but that's where my mind has been lately, just getting some rest, and not feeling bad about it. Like, not feeling bad, dang girl, you should have went to the gym, or dang girl, you should have did, dang girl. Like, no, it's okay, girl, you could lay down. It's okay, girl, you could catch up on shows because you've been studying for this exam. I finally took my test. That test was
Period.
hell.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. I still don't know how my test went. We have to wait like 20, 30 business days before we get our results, but i I do feel happy that I finally sat for it. It was a long 4 hours. My bladder was full. I could not let myself, like, I could take a break as much as I want, but I have so much anxiety watching the clock go down. I'm like, I got 30 something questions, this amount of minutes. I don't know, because you don't know what question is coming up. It's not like 1 plus 1 is 2. It's like, Johnny had like, it's a long scenario, and then you got to answer the question, and it's never one straight response. It's never, um which ward in Newark, New Jersey is Yaya from? North, south, east, or west? I know it's this one. No, it's not. It's never that. It's the best of the worst sometimes of the responses that you got to give, and it's like, which one do they want me to pick? So we'll see how well I did and move on from there. But I'm happy to have a break from testing and be able to watch trash TV.
Yes, I'm so happy for you because I know you were so stressed out and thinking about it and what was it going to be like and what questions are going to be on there. How am I going to answer it? I'm just going to sit there. I'm going to be hungry. I'm going to have to go to the bathroom.
Yes,
It's all over now. That I say the hard part is over, but you say the hard part is waiting for the test
the results.
results. I'm happy for you. Congratulations. You got it out of the way. You got that stress off your shoulders. On to the next thing.
Thank you, bestie. What have you been up
Absolutely.
to? How you feel?
Girl, let me tell you, shout out to all the teachers out there because we on break right now. A nice 2 weeks with no children, okay? I have been on official reset mode, like with everything in my life when it comes to like detoxing my body, when it's coming to rearranging things in my home, when it comes to doing a deep clean. And when I say deep clean, like I'm cleaning the what's these things called? The boards on the floor. Whatever
Oh,
those are.
yes. I've been doing that too with my little micro club, going around like, getting all
Yes,
the dust
I've been
off.
cleaning everything. I've been like from the kitchen to my room. The next thing that I plan to do is to reorganizing my closet and my drawers, seeing what I want to keep, what I'm wearing, just really getting myself like ready for the new year. And I know some people are like, "Oh, for New Year's I don't really plan and like do anything like that." I do. Like I like to see it as a fresh start and starting clean and just doing, just stepping into the new year with a clear mindset of where I see myself going and what I want to do. I've already
Hmm.
made my vision board, I got myself set up for classes for the next semester. I got my calendar up. Like I'm ready. Like I, got my budget book ready to go. I'm just like really aligned with how I see 26 going. So I'm like, let
Hmm.
me just take this time to like really relax, really reset, really get my mind right, get back into a routine of working out, what I want that to look like. So even next week, yes, I'm still off of work, but I'm going to get up at the normal time that I intend to just so I can start getting myself into the routine before I actually go back to work. So I can actually work out on Tuesdays and Thursdays before work and then still work out on Saturdays and Sundays. Like that's the plan. So it's like
Hmm.
I'm really working on the goal is like the discipline that I really want to need in order to get, to where I want to be. Especially when it comes to like this next semester that's coming up and really like diving into my dissertation and the discipline that is going to take for me to really dive into my research. Look at me diving into my research. I officially just I've officially decided what I want my topic to be. I'll share it once I actually start writing the chapters for it. So I'm gonna leave that as a surprise for now. But I'm just really excited, even with work and me figuring out like taking some time to figure out where I want to do with my curriculum, over the next year or two and growing that out. So I'm just really excited for what's to come. So a reset is always good because I was already stressed out. I even spent the first couple of days after I got home from break, I got sick. Mind you,
Mhm.
I don't think I was sick. I think from me cleaning and not using a mask and all the dust that accumulated, it messed with my sinuses. That's what I
That makes
truly
sense.
think it was. I think like I should have had a mask on with all the cleaning I was doing because literally by the end of the day, my throat felt like it was a little closing up. I felt a little scratchy scratch. And I told her, I was like, girl, I don't know. I think I'm getting sick. By the next morning, I couldn't talk. I kept to keep blowing my nose. I messed
Those
my
voice
sinuses
notes
up.
sound crazy.
So I'm glad I got that out the way. I'm like, last thing I want to do is be trying to take off work because I'm sick. I hate having that debate in my head. Am I sick enough to still go?
Yes.
Or should I be staying at home today? How much PTO I got left? Let me really debate if I really need to use this PTO today. I might need a mental health day another day that I really need it for. I don't know. I got a little I'm okay with this. I'll just get a student helper if I can't really talk. I'll just write it on a piece of paper. Tell the class to do this. Or I just type everything in Google Classroom. Follow these instructions. I'm still
Right.
grading you today.
I'm on
But
mute.
yes, right. So I'm really like just really excited. I think this is the most excited I've been in a long time for like what's to come. Like granted, we can't see the future, we can't predict anything, but for me it's just like I'm just excited for the future because I think it's also too I know that I just have a lot to do to prepare for what I want 2027 to look like. So I really have to lay the foundation, over the next year in order to accomplish my goals. Cuz baby
Mhm.
girl going to be walking. Okay, Dr. Loud is loaded. She walking May 2027. So I just want to make sure that I'm remaining to stay aligned. I'm back into my meditation. I'm doing a lot more journaling. I'd even had more time to read. Oh, I love having more time to read and cuddling with my book and a cup of tea. Um, so yes, I'm really, really, really excited. I'm glad that I have this break. Looking forward to spending time with you. We
Yes.
got a plan to spend more time together because granted, over the past year, it's been a little difficult. Granted, how close we may be to each other, but given all of our circumstances over the last year, I think it's important for us to keep in mind how intentional we want to be in regards to maintaining our friendship and growing and learning each other and loving on each other. So I'm excited for that too.
Me too.
It's gonna be a beautiful 2026. I'm manifesting that now. It's gonna be a beautiful 2026.
Yes.
Yes, and we
I'm looking forward to that too, girl.
yes, period. Checked all up and through there. Yeah, if I don't know if y'all realize this. This is our season 6 finale. Like we wrapping this baby. We wrapping this baby. So I mean,
Swallowing it. Swallowing it. Wrap that baby.
all right, so in this episode, season 6, episode 15 of Truth Carpet, let me go ahead and give y'all the rundown for this here episode. So, in our icebreaker, we are going to be answering, a fun question as regards to, how we're going to be wrapping up 2025, aligning with what's going to be next. Then in Sweet 223, both Yaski and me are going to be sharing some poetry. So be tuned for that. I know y'all miss hearing our poetry voices, the vibe, the vibe, the vibe. Then heading over into the calf, we are going to be running down what our 2025 looks like for us, whether that's from travel, moments that made us cry, moments that made us grow, what we learned from, what we're looking forward to. We gave you a tidbit of it in the check-in, but we're going to really dive deep into what we want the next year to look like for us and what 2025 has really meant to us. In the dorm story segment, we're going to be describing 2025 in one word and then wrapping up with community news, closing out season 6. Oh man, if you can see on my face this glow. Shout out to Riri for the Fenty, okay? This is my tinted moisturizer, okay?
I want to try that.
This is not even the foundation. I only had to put on a little bit. This is my new favorite thing. Like just real quick, do 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 do, boop boop, and I'm done.
She's crazy, guys.
Here you go. Without further ado, we can head on over into the icebreaker.
Hey y'all, we are now in our icebreaker segment. I really wanted to play a game, that clapping game that Moni and I played before. Concentration is that game. I wanted to play that, but because we're virtually online, it might be a delay and we don't want to sound crazy.
Right, right on
So,
time. Okay.
yes. So we are going to be responding to a question that's from this card deck. Let me see. It's called Tonight Let's Talk. It's a card game. Well, not a game. Well, I guess yeah, the card game by Ace Metaphor. It looks crazy because it's a little rough. I had it for a long time. But the question that's on this card is, when was the last time you cried? Why?
Last time I cried, realistically, being
Mhm.
honest and transparent.
Today.
No, it wasn't today. The last time I cried was actually on Christmas. I know, right? Christmas is my favorite holiday. Why is she crying on Christmas? I think it was just me having a moment, just being by myself. Like just the realization of like how you were saying before, like the holidays are not the same.
Hmm.
And it was just a part of me. I was planning to go home, but flights were so expensive. I was like, I'm gonna have to find another time to visit for the family to be together. Like it really meant a lot to me to be able to do that. But then I was just like, life is really different. And I started thinking about like how do I want, the holidays in the future to look for me when I am not able to travel. Granted, I still talk to my family on the phone. My nephew called me,
Spider-Man.
yes, Spider-Man. Um, talk to my parents, and granted I did have, family friends in town that I was able to actually have dinner with, which was great. But just that morning, it was very quiet. It was very peaceful, and I sat on the couch and I was just like, damn, this is Christmas and this doesn't feel like Christmas to me.
Hmm.
For it to be a holiday that I always look forward to, it really felt like another day. But I think because I knew it was the holiday, I just took a moment to be like, damn, this is. And I don't think I was crying because I was sad. I don't necessarily say I was sad, but just thinking about how things are different, it just, the tears just started to flow on their own. I was like, yes, I'm grateful. I got a roof over my head. Just life is just in a different space right now.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I don't want to say I cried because I was sad, but I also wasn't crying because I was necessarily happy. So somewhere in between, somewhere like, you know, um,
Yeah.
yeah, it was just different. It felt very, very different this year. So yeah, and I know for a fact if I was able to go home, that those vibes would have been 100% different because I haven't seen my family since the summer. So definitely looking forward to an opportunity where I do get to travel again and go home and see my family in person. But I think also just being mindful for myself, just to continue creating moments or giving myself things to look forward to so it doesn't feel as heavy in moments where I feel like I should have other people around, you know?
Yeah.
And I think I'm just so used to for certain things and doing things with a group of people. There was nothing wrong with me being by myself for Christmas. It's not as if yes, I was by myself, but I wouldn't consider myself lonely,
Mhm.
if that makes sense. So I think just thinking about it thinking about it like that, I think it helps to, just see it in a more positive light than negative. It's just accepting the reality, but finding a way to make it my own and make it special.
That makes total sense. And while I was listening to you speak, I was thinking, I feel like every decade is like time for like a rebrand or like a newness kind of thing. And we're at an age where some people typically have families by this time. So we have to figure out what these holidays or whatever days look like for us. I
Hmm.
kind of felt that same way. But getting to the question, for me, the last time I cried was December 25,
You cried on
Christmas
Christmas
Day.
too?
Yes. So I woke up on Christmas and I was like, dang, it's Christmas. It don't feel like it, but I mean, it's okay. I'm not waking up to my brothers and my mom and all the other things that I'm used to. It's okay. But whether it's my birthday, Christmas, first day of this, the day of my test, the first person that I'm used to hearing from is my mom. So I woke up, I had a text from my boyfriend, I had a text from my dad, family group chat going off ping, 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 whatever. But my mom's not responding to any of them. So I'm like, my mom, for the record, is not attached to her phone, but she will, like, she usually the first one to wish me a happy birthday or like via text or phone call. So for me to get something, and I woke up, it was like 9:30. It was past my mom wake up time. So to not hear from my mom was kind of weird. So I was like, okay, I'll just text her Merry Christmas because I felt weird too texting other people before I text my mom. So I just said I'll call her. She didn't answer, so I just sent the text so I could feel okay with responding to other people. And then I'm like, okay, let me go shower. Shower. She's still not responding. Calling her. She's still not responding. So I'm trying to tell myself relax because I can feel myself getting worried. Like, why is my mom not responding? And then even though I'm fighting it back, I just like started like getting teary eyed, like I hope my mom is okay. And I'm like, let me call somebody else that's in the house, but that person, my mom's partner, usually don't be up either. Like he usually a night owl and then stay up late. And then my mind started going like, but what if he hurt my mom? I don't want to know.
Lord have
Like my
mercy. Not
mind started
going to
going
the
crazy.
extreme.
Yes, my
Jesus.
mom started going crazy, and I'm like, I can't call my brother or my sister-in-law because they're away for Christmas. So I just got dressed and I went over to my mom's house, and I'm just breathing like it's okay, don't freak out. And then when I got to my mom's house, I could hear her phone because I'm calling it. I had the key, but I wanted to ring the doorbell first, and then the door opened. But you don't see anyone. I guess it's because she was behind the door putting the alarm code in. And when I saw her, I was like, Mom. And I could not hold back the tears, just like streams of tears coming down my face. And she was like, Why? I was like, I thought you weren't answering the phone. I couldn't say, like, I thought you were, like, like, I don't even want to say it right now, but like you weren't responding. I thought you weren't okay. And then she's like, Oh, you thought your mommy was gone? Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just like crying so bad, like choked up. So I was like, oh my God, I knew that I already know, like, God forbid, well, I can't say forbid because it's promised. We're all gonna go. I don't know who's gonna go first or if we're gonna go at the same time, but life without my mom, oh my God. If that
I
was
didn't
a
want to think
preview
about
of,
it.
yeah, I was so terrified. So that was why I cried. Just the thought of my mom is not here. So, girl, you can mute everybody else. Don't mute me, mom. I can't. That was so scary. I'm glad I didn't call anyone else and put them in a panic. But I was so petrified. I was so scared. So that's
I
why I
can only
cried on
imagine.
Christmas.
Ooh, honey, don't get me started. I honestly could not imagine my mother giving me the deuces. Please.
I would rather her be old and crispy and know that the time.
Yeah.
Like, not like you're too young, mom. Like, not now, not now. I'll make sure you take care of yourself. I'm so glad that she goes to her doctor's appointments and she has friends and she, is, doing things and live your healthy life. Take care of yourself so we could continue to go on trips together and enjoy life together and be old and crispy like my great grandma. She was old, so yes, it hurt.
Don't say old and crispy.
Well, she was. Well, I ain't gonna call her old and Christian, but my great grandma, she was up in there in age. So when she passed away, it was like it hurt, but it was like okay, she was up there in the numbers. But when people are younger, like my childhood friends that passed away or left in a different way, that was hurtful because it's like, yo, you didn't even you in your early 30s or younger than that, and that is a punch to the gut. So, not my mom, not now. That's the closest person to me, best friend, like over everybody's mom.
Absolutely. Oh, shout out to the mamas.
And that's our icebreaker segment, y'all. So thanks for listening. Think about when's the last time you cried? Whether it was a
Right.
happy tear, like, oh my God, I got the game that I wanted for Christmas, or oh my God, it really snowed on Christmas, or you got whatever, you got to have a break, whatever it is that made you cry, sad, happy, leave a comment and let us know down below.
Down below low. No. Now we heading on over to the next segmento.
Sweet, two, two, three.
Hey y'all, welcome to the Poetic Suite 223. We are here to give y'all some poetry. It's been a minute. I'm actually really excited to share, some poetic words, some vibes. So y'all can snap, crackle, and pop. Yes. All right. So when outlining the episode, I was trying to think of like, how should we both do a poem? I was just in the process of thinking about like this theme of how we're transitioning. What are we, letting go of? What are we releasing? How are we growing? How are we moving forward? How are we becoming? So I was thinking that, we both can share a little something something around the themes of our life ahead. So yeah, would you like to start us off with a little poetry?
Yes, and emphasis on Lil because this is a Lil poem. Actually, I wanted to write something new, but remember, I've been bedwriting. So I have not written anything new, but I came across this poem that was in my notes section. And usually we explain after, but I want to share why I chose this. This poem
Mhm.
feels unfinished. And that's how I feel about 2025. Yes, the year is coming to an end, but the things that I wanted to work on, the goals that I had in mind, it's not finished. And I don't want to feel rushed and say, like, oh, well, that's it. I'm a failure. So it's all about like knowing my worth. So here's what I wrote in my notes section. Do I actually know my worth? Or am I putting up a front because it sounds so good to say I do? I'm continuing this karmic cycle, refusing to step out although I know the way. I'm reliving the same pain that tore me down time and time again. You'd think that to me it felt so damn good. That's it. That's all I have. And I was gonna share something else, but the reason why I have this poem is like setting these intentions, setting these goals, and a lot of times when talking to other people, they'll ask you, "How's it going?" And I'll put up a front a lot of times, and then I realize it sounds good to say that I'm working on these or to be dismissive of the actual goal that I have. Like for me, the actual goal that I have now is to get licensed. But prior to, I kept saying, I don't really want that. I don't know if I'm going to want that in the long haul. And it sounds good to say that. Okay, well, that makes sense. Don't waste your money on this because you don't really want it. But now I see that I really want it and I'm letting fear get in the way. But to other people, it's sounded good what I was announcing, and now it's starting to sound good to myself and confusing
Mm,
me. And do I really know what I want? Do I really know what my worth is? Why be content where right? Why be content right here when I can keep climbing and get to a higher level? And what kept whispering to me is when I was younger, 15, 16, the years prior to college, people reminiscing with me, their experience of college, missing college, wanting to go back, like people in their 30s. And they were like, "Oh yeah, don't be like the people that I know. They go to college, they don't use their degrees, or they settle with the first job that they got, and they're stuck in that, and they don't continue to grow. So continue to push yourself. Don't get, don't stay complacent." And now I reached a point in my life, actually in 2024, where I felt like I'm complacent, and it wasn't
mm,
until around this time last year we heard the rumor that the program was going to be closed, the program I was working for. And the only way to grow is to have that license. The only way to make more money is to have that license. The only way to have more opportunities in New York, in New Jersey, wherever I want to go, is to get that license. Then I can transfer the license to different states or whatever they need me to do. And I also realized that's getting in the way of me having my future and my family. I want to be able to have that flexibility and um not have to take all this time commuting and but I could take that time back and be with my family. Meaning like
mm.
having my own baby. I don't want to be on a train commuting 8 months pregnant to work
Girl,
or
we talked about this.
right going door to door to see do home visits for clients and things like that. I want to have the flexibility to choose my career at the time points that I'm at. So the this poem, I think I'm going to add more to it, but it starts off, do I actually know my worth? And I felt like now I'm learning it. I'm still learning it. But before, even though I would say yes, because I was prideful. Yes, I know my worth, but I don't think I did. And I maybe was afraid to say that I didn't and that I was still figuring it out. So
Mm,
that's why I shared that little four liner.
yeah. It reminds me of things being solidified like in the foundation of anxiety. Like, yes, I want to do these things, but also I feel like I'm okay here right now. But before I got to right here, I was scared to get here. So I think like we always have these chapters in our life, or these, these steps that we need to take. And it's a matter of like, okay, I made it here, but what's after this? I made it here. Now what's after this? And it's a matter of like continue to grow and continue learning of like where we want to go, but then also like reminding ourselves to have grace in regards to how we get there, opposed to thinking like how much time it's taking me to get there. Everybody's road and journey is different. And I
Yeah.
think I used to have an issue with thinking like everything I should have this by now. I should have this by now. I should have this by now. But when I reflect and look back on my journey and where I'm at, I'm like, actually I can understand how I got to where I am. Because absolutely not, I never saw myself getting a doctorate, especially not in educational leadership.
Mhm.
That if somebody told me that years ago, back when I was getting my master's in filming, I'm like, what are you talking about? Why would I get a doctorate in educational leadership? That doesn't make any sense. I'm not even
Mhm.
in education. But throughout my path, I've always been in education of some sort, teaching screenwriting to elementary school students, or then, you know, working in after school programs, still teaching film, and now creating my own curriculum. It's just these paths that I've been scared to jump into, not knowing how it was going to happen, but, took the risk, jumped out. I got pushed out the nest, and I had to learn how to fly. So I think it's just a matter of like, what do they say? I'm gonna say the quote wrong, but it's a matter of like,
Say it, baby. Believe you could
if
do
you're
it.
not, if you're not, if your dreams don't scare you, like
You're
they're
not
not
big enough.
like, so there should be a bit of nerves or some type of anxiety that comes with taking that next step or that next, big thing that you want to do in life, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't. So yeah, that's what
Yes.
your poem and your talk made me think about.
Yes. Thank you for sharing. And now I'm going to pass the mic to my bestie, Moni from the Westie.
Yes, yes. Snap, crackle, and pop, y'all. Snap, crackle, and pop. All right. So this is actually one of my favorite pieces about growth that I wrote back in 2019, entitled Poetically Imperfect.
Oh,
Took a break, better yet, an escape from what was once a misconceived existence. Rediscovering the forte is a must, creating a trust for trust, a silent departure from realism, excluding myself in isolated peace, away from societal patterns to build robust ladders upon a sacred foundation, a palpable definition of bliss, redefining happiness. Once under pressure, fully released, a sigh of relief, unbounded by grief, strong like the rolls from concrete, sometimes weak, an up close and personal reflection, a fragile state of mind with lingering confessions, and warranted apologies, eliminating unnecessary analogies, a synergy greater than self, a beautiful mess, poetically imperfect.
yes. Snap, crackle, pop. Snap, crackle, pop.
So when I originally wrote this poem, it says October 2019. And in October 2019, that's after I went through one of the biggest hurdles in my life, biggest transitions of my life, of having to move back home from LA. I've told this story before. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but it was after me living in LA, having my own place, my own independence, and being literally forced to go back home, move back in, and feeling as if I was a failure.
Mm.
And then looking at it in hindsight, because 2020 happened, I was able to be back home with family during that time, opposed to being by myself. But at the time that I wrote this, feeling, I was in a really bad place. And I purposely started to isolate myself, be by myself, um, trying to figure out what was going to be my next step in life because I felt like I took a wrong turn. Something was wrong. Is this the career path for me? What am I going to do? But now looking at it today in 2025, it doesn't feel sad. For me, it's more hopeful. It's like I know who I am. I know what I want. I know where I'm headed. No, I'm not perfect, but knowing who I am, I'm okay with that. I don't need to be perfect in order to create the life that I want or the life that I desire. If I need to take a break and take a step back, I can do that. And when I'm ready, I can continue moving forward, which is why I love being able to go back to pieces from the past and see how it resonates differently. Like same
Hmm.
words, you know, it was still Simone that wrote it, but it was Simone in a different place. And now these years later, I'm able to look back on it like, wow, it's it hits different. Same words, but it hits different. And it makes me hopeful and confident to just step into who I'm supposed to be. Continuing doing what I'm supposed to do, regardless of the path that I thought that I was going to take. Because nobody's path and journey is straight. It gets curvy, it goes up and down. We have peaks, we have valleys. And I think it's important for us to understand just how to navigate it. It just happens, at different points in our life. So funny, I was having a conversation with my baby sister the other day. Hey, Nene. And we were just having a conversation around navigating life. So she's in her early 20s, and we're basically discussing like how you're going to go through these periods where you feel like giving up. And it's just going to be a chapter. And when that next chapter comes, something else might happen where you feel like, what the hell is going on? I don't want to do this anymore. And it's just going to happen. You just have to figure as you continue to grow and mature, there's just going to be situations they may look similar to something else that happened, but you're going to be able to navigate it differently just because one, okay, I've seen this before. The way that I handled it before, I can handle it differently this time. But then also looking at it as sometimes I see it as like it's a test. Am I going to go
Yeah.
back and revert to how I was before? Or am I going to treat this differently as the person that I am today? Like really showing like how much have I matured or how much have I grown? Like, am I still going to go about it with, being rough and rowdy about it? Am I yelling and cursing? Or am I taking a step back? Am I calm? You know, am I that shaking up bottle of Sprite or am I shaking a bottle of water? So, just looking at like things like that, being poetically imperfect, you know.
Yes.
So that's my piece.
Yes. I like it. What can you have it open still?
I sure do.
What's the line before the last line?
A beautiful mess, poetically.
Yes. I like that. Cause well, I like the whole poem, but that one stuck with me because it can be two ways. Exactly like what I said for mine. Out there, lying to myself and others. Did it really feel like I was lying? Maybe I was painting a picture that try to seem nice to others, but uh, not diminishing, but making my wish smaller, making things that I wanted smaller so I can seem grander to everyone. So it was messy, but it seemed pretty at the moment. And now I'm in the future and I'm living the reality of the mess that I created. And now I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to fix that mess to actually feel beautiful and look beautiful for myself. Because before I
Yes.
cared a lot, like connecting to what you said, I cared a lot about what people thought of me, and now I'm so happy to be in this phase of life where sometimes I do care about, I'm not gonna lie. Let's not lie. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I do care about what others' perceptions are, but I care less. I care more about what it is that I want, how I feel, what I need, where I want to go, where I want to be in life. So a beautiful mess.
Yes, a beautiful mess. Love it. I can be growing and working on myself at the same time.
Yes,
And that's what we do every single day.
every day. Snap, crackle, pop.
Snap, crackle, pop. Come on, giving a word. And that closes us out in our sweet 223. And now we are heading over into,
Hot topics.
yes, I haven't heard that in a while.
I know, I almost forgot my line.
I was like, I hope she remembers to do a little jangle. Let's do it.
Y'all, we are going to talk about a hot topic today
Yes, we
in our
are.
cast segment,
Right in
which,
here.
yep, we're going to be talking about this roller coaster of a year. The funny thing about the end of the year, worldwide, well, I could say USA wide. Well, I can't say USA because I don't really be knowing if people from London or USA unless they talk. Until they open their mouth, I'll be like, oh. Social media wide, I'll say that. we all tend to agree what the themes are for the year, and everyone that I've seen posting about this year have been saying it's been rough. So we're gonna talk about the finale of this year.
Right. In the finale, we talking
In
about
the
the
finale,
finale.
yes. So starting this produced, Moni produced episode, what was a favorite moment in this year?
So many to choose from. So many, so many. I'm like, should I go career wise, school wise? Favorite moment. I would have to say, at the top, I'm gonna put when I went to visit home, and for my nana's birthday, I made sure that I made T-shirts for me and my sisters, matched with my dad. Went to the gravesite and sat there, and we had a moment with Nana. That was a moment for me because one is something that we have not done together, I believe, since my nana passed away. We have not all been at her gravesite together, and I was very intentional about how I wanted it to be special. I'm like, well, what can I do? I was like, you know what, matching shirts. That's what I want to do. And even in the process of that, and me doing one design and having to do it again, and then another design, I got to a point where I was even like, you know what, I don't even want to do this no more. Can we please align on what we want this shirt to look like before I make an executive decision and we gonna wear just matching colors? Okay, everybody put on a white t-shirt. But at the end of the day, it was such a beautiful moment. And then even on that day, it felt as if we all weren't gonna make it. My baby sister went first. She couldn't find her gravesite. She was really upset. Me and my dad went. I thought it was going to close. I didn't think we were going to make it in time. Kiki was at work. She thought she wasn't going to make it. And at the end of the day, we were all there together.
Mhm.
Whether we were crying, laughing, joking, taking pictures, it was just a very beautiful moment that I'm going to hold and cherish forever. Because honestly, I don't know when we're ever going to be able to do that again. But just being able to have that family
Mhm.
moment, loud family moment. That was it was really beautiful. It was really beautiful to have us all there. Then afterwards going to dinner. It was a great way to honor her, but I think it was also just a great way for us to connect. My dad doesn't get all his girls together at the same time often. So being able to just be together, have a moment of quiet that turned into, a few tears, then robust laughter. Like it was really, really nice. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment. Yeah, that's my I'm putting that at the top of the list. That's my favorite moment from 2025.
Yes, I love that. I remember you FaceTime me while you were there. It looked like a beautiful day. And at the time that you called, everyone was smiling and your dad was making jokes. So it
Yeah.
seemed like a good time on that day.
Yeah, it was.
It really is hard to pick a favorite moment because you have 365 days or however many days we had this year. Every year is different. Um, at the top of the year, it was frustrating, like I said earlier, because my program closed and I didn't know where I was going to go. And
Mm.
I spent a lot of time, even though it was probably 2 months, it felt like an eternity trying to figure out what's going to happen to me career wise. Dang, I just got this apartment. What am I going to do? I can't go back home. Like, I can. Thank God for my mom, but like, no, I just got here. I can't lose. I can't go backwards. So, uh, I will change the word favorite to proud. A
Mm.
proud moment was sitting in front of that exam. Actually, the first one was scheduling it, and that hurt because it was very expensive. The exam alone was $371 and some change. The study
Woo.
material, the study material, one study thing was like almost $400. Another one was $15, and then another one was four, like three something. So overall, I paid a lot of money to sit for this exam. But actually, telling the person my name, signing into the exam, and sitting my butt into that chair, like at first I was nervous, and then when the exam popped up, I remember saying, "Let's go, let's go," and I had to tell myself, "Be quiet." Like I was so happy to just finally be there. Intimidated a little bit, proud, anxious, but just relieved to finally sit there. And I know some people go into the exam, some people pass on their first time, some people it takes them 4 or 5 times to pass the exam. And some people have said it's the most difficult exam that they've ever had in their life. Like even Google, it will say like it's a lot of people say that it's the hardest exam. A lot of people leave feeling like they failed, but it's not a moment that I wish I could have for the rest of my life. But I'm just happy that I went from the top of the year feeling like crap, beating myself up verbally, of why I'm here, why am I not licensed, why did I wait so long? Why didn't I get my stuff together? Why didn't I think ahead of time opposed to thinking of now? That's okay. I mean, it's still rough, but I am where I am now. I'm glad that I was able to look at that and still not get stuck and say, okay, well, I didn't, and have this year of definition. Like by year 25, I should be this, and by the time I'm 27, and by the time I'm 30, no, it's okay to do it whenever you do it. And I took my test this year, and I still don't know the results, but I still think that that's um a moment that I'm not going to forget from this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And you did that, girl, to ending the year on a high.
Yes, I should get high. It's like nah.
Natural high.
Right. What is a favorite trip of this year?
You know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Arizona.
No.
What?
Uganda. You forgot I went to Uganda?
This year.
I went in April.
Oh,
Yes.
with your skirts. Yes, yes. Oh, you
I
brought me
went
back to
to
giraffe.
um Uganda is my favorite trip because it was very eye-opening for me as an educator, as a person. I was just very I honestly feel like I was transformed as a person on that trip. Granted, I went there as a volunteer to support teachers in their classrooms, give them, advice on class management, different tips and tricks and tools that they can use. And having someone see in me the potential of like creating, thinking on my feet, a workshop for students to learn film. I didn't go there for that. I just happened
Yeah.
to be having a conversation with one of the principals, and they're like, well, no, you have to do something with the students while you're here. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do? And I had to really think like, okay, let me take what I've done already and flip it, bring some sort of package together. And I taught 2 classes the next day, the next afternoon. And that really showed me like the trajectory of my life and where it could go. I could teach internationally. I can teach
Mhm.
programs wherever. I can travel and still work in my field, but do it my way, creating my own path, my own destiny. And even aside from that, it also gave me just more of a perspective on ways that I can appreciate the life that I have. Just being
Mm,
there and just being around the energy of the people in Uganda. It gave me just a new appreciation for my own life, but also just it honestly kind of humbled me a little bit, and it made me feel like I wish that I could, maybe I can one day, but like be able to take my own students and other people to Uganda so they can see and feel the energy for themselves. There's so many different types of people that can go and support, whether it's in your field and being able to go down there and give support, not even just as a teacher. There's just so many different avenues. And I think it would be very beautiful for them to see more of people coming from America that look like us.
mm,
Um, because they don't see that often, and to just be able to meet not just people of color but women of color. I was still, one of my favorite parts of that trip was being able to meet other black women, whether they already had their doctorate or on the journey to get their doctorate. It was very inspirational to me, and it let me know like I'm doing the right thing, I'm in the right space, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So I look forward to seeing where I can, or when I'll be able to do that again. It was very, very eye opening. It made my heart so full to just be there and do that. Yeah, that was definitely my favorite trip of 2025.
That was so nice to hear. And just thinking about the pictures and the videos that you shared with me, they were so pure and nice. And the children looked like they love and admire you. And it just made me smile, like just seeing how happy you were and the experience that you were getting and the news that you shared, the little voice notes that you shared with me about what the other administration shared and the other people that were working with you and how much you had in common with them. You never know what you're going to experience until you put yourself out there. So I'm glad you were able to gather your skirts and travel to Uganda and have such an amazing experience that you'll never forget.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely never forgetting that.
I keep forgetting that this was this year because this year is just like, what? But I definitely went to Paris and London this year with my mom and my nephew, Jordan. And traveling with my mom is nothing new. I'll just give a little background. So typically you'll hear of girl trips or people going on trips with significant others. That's like you don't really hear about like mommy daughter trips. Maybe I should make a reel with me and my mom trip. But
You
anyway,
should.
yeah. The reason why this trip happened was because my mom was supposed to go on a senior trip to Paris when she was in high school, but the trip got canceled, so she didn't get to go. And for all her life, she wanted to go, and she never got to go. She became a teen mom, and then she had me, and then taking care of family, not just her children, but her siblings too. Like, because my grandma had, well, you don't know, but long story, like my mom was basically helping everyone else. So she really didn't have time to do for herself. So finally, in 2025, she, well, 2024, at the end of the year, she planned to go on a trip and she knows she wanted to go with her family. But it's just very frustrating when you're trying to get loads of people together. Like she wanted everyone to go. Her sisters, her brothers, her all her kids, her grandkids, she wanted whoever could go to go. But it's just annoying. You keep putting out these text messages and people respond, yes, but then they don't respond to everything or they don't respond at all. And my mom don't got time to keep asking questions. So she said, well, I'm gonna go, even if it's just me and my grandson. I'm gonna go. Yeah, you coming? And I said, yeah, I'm going. So we booked those flights, and we booked the airfare and everything, and we had an amazing time. I'm so used to. I mean, I've been to other countries before, but I'm so used to going to places and having to have cash because you got to give them tips and being on a resort and like all those different things, packing warm things. But this was a different trip. It was to the point where I was like, oh, I got to get cash. And my brother was like, for what? And I said, the pirates, they're going to ask for money. And he was like, no, it's not like that. So going to Paris, this was my first time as an adult going to a place like this where it's like city life. The majority is not on vacation. Like when you go to Costa Rica or something, the majority is on vacation. The
Yeah.
majority there is not on vacation. And I love architecture. Like I love the landscapes. I love all that stuff. So just feeling like it felt like they took me out of the United States and put me back into time and just admiring how beautiful Paris is and just like how everything is outlined. And I felt like a baddie and I felt like I was rich. Like, oh my God, like we going into the Louis Vuitton store and I'm like, oh, I was very vague about it. I was like, oh, I need a wallet for a mail, but not a card wallet, like a money wallet. Da, da, da. And I was like, Jordan, you like this? I'm going to get this for my nephew. Like that felt so good to be able to purchase luxury stuff for my nephew. And
Come on, rich auntie.
yes, it felt so nice and getting macaroons every morning and being right by the Eiffel Tower and actually climbing up the Eiffel Tower. That was rough. Oh my God. I was running out of breath. It's so many steps just to get to the first floor. Just taking in the city, experiencing the museums, being with my mom and being with my nephew and having him experience that with us. It was just I just love my family so much and just to be able to experience things like that with them was so much fun. I actually look forward to going again because My nephew isn't of age, so some things I didn't get to do, like go see what their party life is like, well, they're, things for older people. And then the first night was very rough because my mom and I, we're used to, you gotta readjust your body to the time frame. My nephew was like, "No, I'm going to sleep. I'm tired." So, just like adjusting to that. But all in all, I just love being able to travel and do that with my mom and bring my nephew on to experience it. It was a great time.
That sounds beautiful. Yes. Cheers to family treats.
Yes. Dang. A moment that you had to laugh to keep from crying.
Ooh, that was recent. So after my grandfather passed away, well, initially when we first found out that he was in the hospital and he had his call with all his grandkids on it, it just took it was very emotional. And then around that time, it just kind of took a bit of a toll on me, and I fell behind in school. But on that call, he told me, go be a doctor. That's the last thing he told me. First of all, I'm like, dang, grandpa, you gonna put all this pressure on me? But then also, it was kind of like, but I'm doing this for a reason. I'm doing this for a purpose. It's meant for me to do this. But I was more emotionally affected by it than I realized because I started to fall behind. I started to fall behind at work, but I really started to fall behind at school. It showed, honey. It showed because I'm making up assignments, writing papers, doing research, doing more papers. I'm just like, I literally, when I say I had to laugh, I was ready to give up. And I was like, there's no way that the last thing that my grandfather told me to do was go be a doctor and I'm about to have to do this semester over. Ain't no way.
Uh,
Please, God, tell me it's not it. And it was really rough because I was like, how did I first I had to take myself through the motions of like, how did I even end up in this space? I was doing so well, I was on track, and I had to take a step back and be like, look, emotionally, you haven't been all there. So of course it started to take an effect on other things little by little more than I started to realize. But in the end, I pushed through. I did it. I did it. I even laughed again when I saw I passed both my classes. And I probably
eh,
didn't cry because I was at work. So I had to like, give myself a little praise dance, some joy, because I'm like, I did it. I did it. It was
yes,
hard as hell.
SpongeBob.
It was hard as hell, but I pushed through and I did it. And I'm just looking forward to continue pushing through and doing the damn thing. Like it's not easy working full time, being in school full time, and then still making time for us to podcast. And yes, I still do after school. I teach step after school. So it's just kind of like with the culmination of all those things and then making time for myself and my friends, I did that. I did that. And I don't expect it to not be any more moments where I feel like I want to give up. I expect that to happen, but at the end of the day, I know that I can always take a look back and be like, you said this last time when you was doing XYZ. When
Mhm.
XYZ happened and you still did it. When you were going through that and you still pushed through and you did it, your resiliency, you bounced back. So I feel like, just giving myself the reminder of like, I am going to go through things, but those things are not going to stop me from doing what I need to do because
Yeah.
I'm passionate about it and I'm dedicated to getting it done. So I definitely I laughed. I laughed real loud because I'm like, this has to be some type of joke that my grandfather told me this, and I'm not about to pass.
Yeah.
There's no way. Please turn the camera. Tell me what the hidden cameras are. That's how I was feeling, but I did it, and I'm damn proud of myself. I'm very
As you
proud of.
should be. My laugh came after the cry, and it felt like something was laughing at me
Mm.
because of where I am today. Like just thinking, okay, dang, it's been so long since I graduated grad school. All the people that I went to school with in my class passed their exam, are licensed, and doing whatever they're doing. And it felt like I was the laughing joke of the group. I'm not licensed or whatever, and it just feels like a big thing, especially if I guess whatever you're trying to pursue feels like a big thing at that moment. So for me, this license felt like a big thing, and it just felt like no, they weren't doing it, but it felt like I was the joke because I'm not licensed. And I'm just looking at this study material and knowing that they passed on the first go, but damn, did I skate through grad school? Because I don't know what the heck this is, and I don't know what that is, or did I just forget the material? I'm so confused. And I like I like repetition. I like song. I like learning from someone, not reading a book. Like novels, books like that, okay, but learning material, I need to hear. Like I like the the old version of going to a class and someone teaching you something. That's how I learn. So something just told me go on YouTube. So I went on YouTube because I think I was trying to find, like, can I find other study material? Like, even though I paid for this, can I find something? So I put in a search, MFT exam, and all this stuff popped up about people taking the exam, and some advice and suggestions and things that you should study. But the first video that I watched, I just remember the girl saying, because you go to grad school and you take all these classes, but everything that's on the exam is not what you actually is not what they taught in our program. I'm like, hey, yo, like I was so embarrassed to ask people that I went to school with, is this the stuff that we know? Because they're like, oh, we do it every day. It's the stuff that we do on exam, we do it every day. But what, I don't know, maybe if I asked them, they would have told me, but would anybody else have been honest and say, no, yeah? Because even with Ronald, when I talked to him, when he said, I was like, that's what the girl on YouTube said. He was like, yeah, everything, the test is an overall thing. It's not even stuff that I learned in my school. So I had to teach myself stuff. I felt like a dodo head like this whole time, feeling like I skated through my program. How the heck did I get a degree and I don't know this stuff? I know this stuff, but this, what the heck is this? So my laughter came after the pulling of hair and crying, because it's like, okay, now that I know that, I feel more comfortable because, like, I didn't even want to say the word study around certain people because I didn't want to feel like, dang, I'm not studying enough, or like I'm so afraid of this test that I'm pushing off. Like, I'd rather go to the gym, or I'm a little too tired. I'll study another day. Like, no, it's okay. This is the norm. Okay, let's buckle down and learn this stuff. So it really just changed the trajectory of everything for me. So the laughs, the tormenting of self happened. And then I mean, yeah, the laughter towards me and the tormenting towards me and the crying from me letting out happened before I was able to laugh at myself and then say, okay, let me get myself together and tackle this test the best that I can with the time that I have. But girl,
Yes.
I need water.
Yes. You did that. I did that. We did that. And we're going to keep doing it. Period.
Yeah. Uh, what did you become better at this year?
What did I become better at? That is a really good question.
Me.
What did I become better at? What? That doesn't even make sense.
Well, I was saying me, I can
Okay.
go.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think the theme for me is this test, but overall, being honest with myself, looking in the mirror and just realizing the things that I can work on. A lot of times I get upset with people, and I realize after I'm upset that I didn't do the best that I could in that situation either. Or maybe I didn't communicate the best that I could, or maybe I didn't organize my day the best that I could, or maybe I didn't read the email thoroughly. Like just self reflection and being honest, being able to apologize and rewrite it, like fix the things or be better moving forward. Whether it's an argument, well, I don't really we don't get into arguments, but miscommunication between me and my partner, or getting mad or anxious about something at work, or upset with a family member because of this. It's not always that thing, it's not always that person, but sometimes it's me. And taking accountability is that thing that I feel like I've become better this year. Even things within me. I talked a lot about this test and studying. And I've also been saying to myself, I'm tired of sounding like a broken record. So what can I do to not sound like a broken record? What can I do to improve myself? Just self-reflection is the theme, one of the themes and that I have for myself this year.
Absolutely. Yes. All right.
Not
I got
practice.
mine now. I got mine. I would say what I've become better at and I want to continue growing in is my discipline. I think one thing that definitely got me through this second half of the year, work and school and personal life, is just how I planned it out, sticking to my boundaries. like saying no when I need to say no, saying yes to myself. Like, girl, you got things you got to get done. You got to do it. Like, I've turned down invitations to go places I might have agreed to go to. I said, actually, I can't. I really need to work on this paper. I'm farther behind than I intended to be.
Yeah.
And I just let it be what it is. I even took time to stay after work. That's what I started doing. I spend 2 to 3 extra hours after work because knowing by the time I get home, I don't want to do anything. So while I still
Yeah.
have the energy, I chose after I get off work we get out at 3:30. Between 3:45 and 4 o'clock, I'm taking a little break, and from 4 to 6, sometimes 6:30. One day it was 7. I said, "Lord, I gotta get out this building." I literally stay after school and I do my work. And y'all know because I sent her that check in when I'm on my
Check
way
in.
home
Yep.
because it was important for me to find a balance that really worked for me in order for me to actually get things done. Because I've already realized coming home, girl, you're going to try to sit in front of your computer. You're going to get comfortable. You want to sit on your couch, relax. And then but before you know it, the evening is over. So I'm like really honing in on what discipline looks like for me, but also as well as my boundaries. And it was okay for me to say no. And at the end of the day, nobody was upset for me saying no. People understand. And that's what I can appreciate. Even when I went
Mhm.
home over the summer, and yes, I really wanted to see my family, but y'all, I'm locking myself in this room for 2 hours. Nobody bother me. When the timer goes off, then it's gonna be time for me to get back with y'all, connect, and it's party time. I remember when I gave my nephew, I had to give my nephew the
I was thinking
timer.
about
I'm like,
that.
here, take this with you. When it beeps, come and get me. So like I am honing in on discipline and boundaries, and I'm looking forward to what that's going to look like for me over the next year because research, baby, and actually like typing out my chapters and doing my sending out my surveys and really honing in on like my form of research that I'm going to be using. I'm excited. I've already started, like how I said before in the beginning, like even with me choosing to work out Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, jumping into it before I even go back to work so I can start the discipline early so my body can get used to what I need to do. So yes. I'm now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, damn, I really did spend this second half of the year staying after work. I really did that.
Yeah.
I've really been staying
Good
up to do
job.
my work during the day, and I was really researching and doing my schoolwork while at work. I'm proud of myself. Now I'm really reflecting back. I really committed to doing it, and I did, and it worked. It really worked. Proud of
So
me.
is that what you're carrying it from this year to next year? Self-discipline?
Yes, absolutely. Because I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna need it. Absolutely. Self discipline is at the top of the list, and I'll put boundaries right after it.
Mhm.
Because there's been days where I've even wanted to like having to say no to myself was even hard. So what I've tried to do is incentivize myself. Like, all right, once you finish this assignment, then we can do this. We can binge this show or finally watch this episode. Like, cause I'm like,
And
once I
fall
sit
asleep.
down, that's what I'm saying. The show watching me. So I'm like, I've learned to reward myself. All right, we're gonna get once we at the end of this week, we're gonna get that cheesecake. You know what I'm saying? At the just what am I gonna do like what am I giving myself to look forward to once I make it through this hump? We celebrating all wins, okay? Small, big, minute. We celebrating all of them because at this point in life, every I'm rewarding everything, okay?
Yes.
Shoot, yeah. So self discipline, boundaries, celebrating every win.
Okay. I want to steal yours, self-discipline, and I want to take self-reflection into the new
Mm,
year. Um, and also fearlessness.
yes.
Do it scared, but stop being so scared because being so scared has been keeping me from doing certain things or switching up my priorities. I want to be focused on the things that I want to accomplish in life. I don't want to put a timeline on everything, but I want to be honest with myself and be more organized. Like I feel
Mm,
like if somebody asks me how many hours did you accumulate towards your license, I should be able to answer that and not say, "Oh, I don't know, I need to get myself organized." It should be organized. Um,
yeah.
and I don't want to I know what my goals are. I don't want to say for 2026 because I don't really like to stick anything for a year now. but I know what some goals that I have had and continue to have moving forward, and I want to be able to do those and not see it as a big goal and feel overwhelmed, but have some self-discipline and organize everything and reflect and say, okay, what was maybe month to month, right?
Hmm.
Like, okay, what was I able to accomplish this month? What can I do better next month? What do I want to change X, Y, and Z next month? I saw that on Instagram too. I wish I saved the post, but it was basically something to that extent of every this amount of days or this amount of weeks or this amount of months you should be cleaning your home or checking your budget or checking in with your goals, checking in with your health,
Hmm.
those things like that. Hopefully, I'm bringing in better health too next year because
Come on. Yes,
one
help.
time this year I was like, yo, I budgeted my year so that I can have extra money. And now I have to decrease the amount of money that I'm saving because something is not adding up. Where is my money going to? I mean, I do snack, but I haven't been like splurging on things like how I used to go out and dine with friends and do all these different things. I haven't been doing that. So where's my money going to? It's been going to co-pays, it's been going to MRIs, it's been going to procedures, it's been going to all that. I'm like, hey, yo, that's very expensive. Like I just paid on Christmas Day, I got a bill. It was 300 something dollars. That's over
Hey, not on
300
Christmas.
something
Y'all couldn't
dollars.
wait till the next day.
Right. Well, it was already my mail still goes to my mom's house, so I think it was there for like a week or so.
You
But
saw it on
my
Christmas.
mom handed me the mail on Christmas, and I opened it, and I was like, I knew it was a bill, but I'm hoping that does not flow into 2026. If we could say these medical bills, I hope I got my answer. I'm gonna cut down on the cheese and the milk and all that stuff. I'm gonna do all the things, drink more water, whatever I need to do to have a healthier body. And I think stress too was adding to the stomach cramping and things like that. I know I do
Hmm.
have a hernia, so I'm not making it up, the pain that I have, but just being more gentle on my body and strengthening my body so that the pain is not too crazy. And losing weight too, because gaining weight can be a lot on a hernia. But I don't want to take the medical bills into 2026. I had enough in 2024 and 2025. I want to go back to saving my money and not spending it
Right.
in the hospitals and stuff.
Absolutely. Yes. To saving money for things other than going to the doctor. Lord have
Yes.
mercy.
What are you
That'll
releasing?
help.
What don't you want to take into this next year?
What do I not want to take? I don't want to take lack of confidence. I feel like I
That's
feel
true. That's
like
real.
more often than not, I might seem like I got it all together, but I doubt myself a lot and I continue to prove myself wrong. And I want to walk into 2026 with confidence. You know what I'm saying? I want to already be there. And in everything that I touch, the things that I speak on, like I want to be confident in what I am doing. I don't want to have to second guess, cause I'm like, I gotta start trusting my gut. I be knowing stuff and I be knowing what I need to do and what not to do. And sometimes I tend to second guess. I'm not doing it no more. I'm going
Hmm.
to do things in confidence. That what's what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. Funny thing is, I had already had that in mind. I'm like, the universe works in mysterious ways. The Lord told my mama to get me this. So for Christmas, my mother sent me a book. The book is called Confidence, and
Okay.
it's like it's about like 8 ways to basically like tap into who you are. And I was like, my mama be knowing what I need. And it's time to release that imposter syndrome. I don't expect it to go away immediately, but I have to continue daily to remind myself you are in the room that you are in because of who you are and what you did to get there. It's not, I've worked hard to be where I am, and I have to stand in that. I have to own that. And I have to be
Hmm.
confident in the fact that room that I'm not even in, there are people speaking about me and how to help me get to where what I need to do. And if I don't believe it's possible, then it won't happen. So it's like
Yeah.
being more confident, standing in who I am, 10 toes down, all right? 10 toes so deep, you might think I'm sinking, all right? I'm walking in confidence. It's needed. It's a must. It's especially with this chapter that I'm in and the
Hmm.
foundation that I'm laying the rest of my life. I'm like, I got to do it in confidence. I might be a little nervous, I might be a little anxious, like I said earlier, but I'm going to be confident in the decisions that I make. That's what
Yeah.
I am releasing lack of confidence.
Yeah, I want to steal that. I don't think it's bad to be have low confidence. Sometimes I think that's just human nature. But like I want to tap myself on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, yo, snap out of it." What you said about the names, your name being in rooms that you're not in, or people speaking about you that you're not even aware of.
Hmm.
I've had, I don't want to say so many, but so different people wanting me to work for them or wanting to offer me a position or positions being open and like unique, da, 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 and I had to turn them down because I'm not licensed. So I have all these people believing in me, loving the way that I work, thinking that I'm a great therapist. Even my clients saying like, "Oh, you're such a great therapist." That is, it makes me feel so damn good. The same confidence that they see and they believe in me, I have to believe in myself too. The unfortunate thing is you have to
Oh,
have that
yes.
paper. You have to have that paper in order to elevate, level up, like Sierra said, in life, in your career, and things like that. So I'm doing this for little Buttercup. One day I hope to have a baby and name her Buttercup. I don't know what's gonna happen if I have a son, because like I said to you the other day, where I am right now, the money I make, the way that my life is, aside from the stress, I'm okay. I can take care of myself. I'm okay. I don't need extra income. But to add Buttercup to it, and my spouse, like he'll prayerfully, he has his own and can take care of us. But what happens, the way that this government and the way that work has been happening, what happens if we lose something? I don't have enough money to take care of a family or just me and Buttercup. So I'm trying to get to that so I can feel comfortable, and I need that confidence to come on with me to 2026 and make shit shake. Like, let's make it happen. Let's get these test results and see what the next step is going to be and do what I got to do so that you're going to be crossing the stage in 2027 and I'm
Uh-huh.
going to be getting that paper in the mail in 2027, maybe 28. We'll see. And, we've reached a mark where we can celebrate and be happy where we are and proud of ourselves with confidence.
Yeah, I'm buying the
Self-reflection.
bottle of champagne now. I'm gonna write walking across the stage, Dr. Loud. I'm gonna put that on the bottle because once it happens,
Okay.
we popping that thing. Okay.
Pop, pop.
Which shoot, yes. I'm gonna do little bottles for the smaller milestone, but that big bottle of champagne, okay. We gonna do it up.
Okay. What do you want to do next?
Depends, girl, where you wanna go? What you wanna do? Who you wanna be? You wanna be on
Ghostbusters. Yes. I said Ghostbusters, but I said it in the right rhyme, which was top model. I don't know, my mind. Ghostbusters. Oh my God. Let's go to dorm story.
Alrighty, let's do it. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? In today's dorm story segment, we are going to be closing it out with one word, just one word to describe our 2025. For those I don't know or that not familiar, 2025 was the year of the snake. And the snake represents, you know how skins. You know how snakes replenish their skin, they take off the dead skin, they letting it go. So the year 2025 was a season of like letting go, releasing. like and I think next year is supposed to be the year of the horse, if I remember correctly. So I'm about to ride that thing into the sunset. Okay, we about to gallop.
Okay, Stallion. Wait, is that for the
Yes,
Chinese year or wow? They be knowing.
2025 was the year of the snake, getting rid of that old and coming in with the new. I'm getting rid of that dead skin, that the part of me I
Mhm.
no longer need. So with that being said, baby, do you have one word to describe your 2025?
If you don't know by now, that word is test.
Mm.
Whether it was my examination or life itself, other things, it just felt like I was tested from the first month to this last month. Just so many different things, so many people passing away in January, losing my job, taking on another job opportunity, feeling like I don't have friends. Well, I know I have friends, but it's just sometimes you feel alone. Well, I've experienced feeling lonely, going through a depression, feeling like I don't want to do life anymore, just feeling like I care for others, no one cares for me. It's just all in your mind sometimes, especially when you're going through a test and feeling like I'm not where I need to be in life. It was a test, and I'm glad to say that on this umpteenth day of December, we're going on to uh the new year 2026. I passed the test.
Mm.
So the year of the snake, it definitely makes a lot of sense. Peeling back those old layers and coming into a new, as well as biblically with the snake in the garden. And the snake came in the Garden of Eden, right? It's Garden of Eden.
Hmm.
And fooled Eve and tested her
Come
and
on,
told
you
her
know,
to eat
do
that
it again.
fruit.
Tell us.
Yeah, and told her to eat that fruit, and then all these things happen. So I think that's why I said, oh, they be knowing, because that makes sense for this year. Pulling back the layers, getting rid of my old ways of saying, oh, I'm content, I'm okay. Girl, you're not. You're doing okay. And that's a great thing. Imagine you're doing okay now without a license. Imagine where you will be after you get that.
Come on.
Like, girl, get it together. So this year was testy westy. What's your word?
My word, I would have to say, is transformation. Word for 2025 is transformation. I started the year with moving into my brand new place, January 1st, 2025. My first place by myself of being in Brooklyn. That was a very big milestone for me. Aside from the fact that, yes, I have my own space, my own peace, you know, what I've been working towards, but I can afford it. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? It takes a lot to like move in the stress of looking for a place and your credit score make X amount of times the rent and blah blah. This ugh,
girl.
we can talk about that on another day. But like me starting my me starting my year as I did, and then looking at how I progressed, or as I said, transformed every month. You know, and just seeing who I am now. I'm not who I was at the beginning of the year. I'm much stronger. I'm much more self-aware. I'm definitely much more aligned with what I see happening in my life. You know, I have a lot more responsibilities at work. I didn't have that at the beginning of the year.
Hmm.
I passed another semester. I got 4 down and 4 to go. Like, and just going through the process of being in school and understanding what works for my schedule and what doesn't. I have a better understanding of what works for me, and just understanding the trajectory of where I want my life to go and having a better grasp on where I want to go with it. So it's definitely been a transformative year for me. In each quarter, each quarter taught me something different about myself, especially in that first quarter where I decided, let me apply for this position. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I didn't even really tell many people about it. I was just like, let me see if I can just do it on my own, and I
Hmm.
did. Like, girl, you worked hard to get to where you are. And then going into the second quarter, and like going through that, my first struggle with school and falling behind, like, my goodness, and having to catch up. And then it happened again, but I bounced back even better than I did before. Transformation of like peeling back that layer of me when my grandfather passed away. Transformation is definitely the best word that I can use to describe 2025. I'm definitely a better person than I was at the beginning of the year, different person than I was. The layers have definitely been peeled back. Okay, they have definitely
Okay.
been peeled back. Yeah, I got my creative spark back. Writing scripts again. For a while, I wasn't even able to do that. It was just like I've been able to also tap back into things that I really, really love, and understand how to truly make time for myself, and understanding what a boundary looks like for me. So yeah, transformation.
Yeah,
I could do a whole episode on transforming through the whole year.
I'm sure. Well, so we have transformation and we have test. What's your
A
word, y'all?
transformational test, okay?
Yes. What's your word? What's your word for 2025? Let us know in the
Yes,
comments
please.
below or Instagram, wherever you are listening to this podcast episode. And we want to say sayonara 2025. It's been a
Right?
doozy, but it's snoozy now. And just because this year was rough, it doesn't mean that every single day or part was rough. It doesn't mean that,
Mhm.
I'm sure there was some great things that happened, some things that we shared, our trips, our experience with our family members and things like that. So it wasn't it wasn't trash worthy. It was a
Right.
roller coaster. There's some great parts of a roller coaster and there's some scary parts. A lot of times people get off and they're like, "Oh my God, that was great. I want to run it back." Some people get off and they're like, "Oh
Right.
my God, that let's go to the next
Never doing
one."
that again.
And I'm ready to go back to the next one. Like there's some parts of that roller coaster that I absolutely enjoy, that I like, that I'm going to take with me. But that one, if y'all
I'm
get
ready for the
rid of
next one.
that one, I'm gonna go to the next ride. And
Ready
I
for the next
pray, I
ride.
hope that this 2026, as far as for myself, as far as for the people that I love, as far as people that I haven't met yet or people that I don't know, I hope that this year is great. And you know how they do the little funny calendar countdowns of, but I don't see them doing that at the end of the year. But typically, the first 4 months, they'll be like, January, this happened, February, this happened. It started off rough for the
Mhm.
whole
Oh, no, I didn't
everybody.
see it this year.
Yep. Only at the top of this year I was seeing it. So I pray that 2026, I don't know what the number 26 means or anything like that, but I just pray and hope that it's better for everyone.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, without further ado, we are going to continue on to the last community news for season 6 and 2025. Let's go. It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. It's the last episode of season 6. The last episode for 2025. We done, y'all. But not forever.
Oh
Hey,
my,
we done, y'all. But not forever. Hey, wrapping it up. We wrapping it up. We did it. We did it. Even though it took longer than normal, we did it. We wrapping it up. We wrapping it out. We closing it out.
put a bow
We
on it.
appreciate y'all for tuning in. Right. We appreciate y'all for tuning in for the entire season. Oh my gosh. That is a different type of roller coaster for Love Loud, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, but we made it. We did it. Yay.
Yes. We did it. We did it, Dora. I'm grateful for our listeners too. Like we said some episodes before, thank you to those who checked in and said, "Hey, are y'all okay? What's going on with y'all podcast?" That just lets me know that we do have listeners. Sometimes I feel like we're recording, or I think we're recording and no one's listening. But to have people say that, it means a lot to me. But like we said, this year was rough. Me studying and working a new job, and Moni adding a new position to her role, and in her program, it was harder to record. And then two, we usually have guests lined up, so I think previous seasons, we were, even the times that we didn't want to record or we felt too tired, we were like, well, we got this person's schedule, so we gotta do it. So that
Right.
helped us stay on track with things. But this year was more of a Love Loud year and not many guests. If we did have any guests, I'm sorry if I forgot.
We had a
It's just my
couple.
mind has been on other things, but I'm forever grateful for the feedback and for people listening to our little voices. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think it just goes to show how much we actually enjoy doing this, despite things that may, make us take a step back, push some episodes back. But I really do enjoy podcasting and talking and chit
Mhm.
chatting with my bestie, whether we have a guest or not. It's something that I truly enjoy, and I enjoy that y'all enjoy listening. You know what I'm saying? Keep it going, keep it popping, keep it moving, keep it grooving. This has definitely
Mhm.
been one for the books for sure. and definitely gives us an opportunity to see how we want to recalibrate. What is Truth Carpet going to really look like? What is it going to be in 2026?
Yes.
At this point, we don't know, but we'll see. But y'all will definitely still be hearing from us. You ain't got to worry about that at all.
Well, we may not know, but
So
maybe you
yes,
know. Maybe you have some ideas of what these two girls can talk about on their podcast episode. Maybe some topics that we've never hit, and maybe some topics that we've talked about before, but we're older now. We're at different phases of life now. Maybe we
yeah,
have different perspectives on things that we talked about before. Or maybe you want us to run a guest back, or maybe you have an idea of a guest that may be suitable for our either hot topics segment, which is the calf segment, or our poetry segment, which is Snap Crackle Pop, that I thought was called Sweet 223. Maybe you have ideas for us to pour into our podcast in this next season, season 7. So if you do have ideas,
ooh, season 7.
send us a DM, leave a comment, send an email, however you think to get in touch with us. Don't be shy. Let us know. We're open
Don't
to
be shy.
your ideas.
Absolutely, absolutely. And with this being literally the last episode of the year, of the season, we would like to say to y'all, Happy New Year. Okay. Hope y'all going into 2026 refresh, reset, new mind, new vibe, or just, continuing with the vibe that you already started. You know what I'm saying? But, enhancing it, you know what I'm saying? Everything ain't gotta be fresh, new start at the beginning of the year. Honing in on what you already doing. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I
Or you
love
could
this for
bear ride.
us.
If you want to sleep, sleep in. Who's judging you? Just make sure your responsibilities are taken in and get that rest. You need to recalibrate.
Get
I
it.
saw something too. I was gonna say this earlier, but I forgot. But like, it's such a great thing that teachers and different corporate organizations and things like that get a chance to have 1 or 2 weeks off. That doesn't include their PTO. That what I saw, it says something like when people get the time off of work, that makes them more excited or look forward to coming back, and starting like off a fresh start and pouring into their company,
Hmm.
opposed to not having that time back, and it's dreadful. It's like, like I said, when I get on the train, I'm like, I feel like the only dork that had work today because the train is so empty. But having that time, taking it all in, you're usually on go all the time with these schedules. It's great that you have this time off, so enjoy it, refreshing yourself, your space, and go into the new year off on a new start. You don't have any other responsibilities right now, possibly. I don't know. You may have children, you may have other people or things that you're taking care of. You may have your own business that now that your
Right.
corporate job or your scheduled job is not it's on pause, so you can focus on the other business that you've maybe not been able to pour much into. So if it's planning, if it's sleeping, whatever it is that you're doing, do it. Don't feel judged by anybody else.
Enjoy
It's your
it.
life. This is your life. Yes, live that life,
It's
baby.
your life. Absolutely. And as we do at the end of every season, we would love to stay and be in your ears, but we got to close it out. We got
Yeah,
to
I gotta go
say thank
donate
you
these
for
clothes.
tuning in. And we will see y'all in season 7. Season 7. Oh my
That's a
goodness.
good number.
So it is. So until next time, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Go run it back, season 1 through season 6, until we see y'all again. Okay.
Yes, see y'all later. Stay black.
Stay proud. Ow. And that's how we end that right there.